Open agenda.
Just a reminder, once we are in open, to please use your microphones. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the open session of the West Parry Sound Recreation Culture Center Board meeting for February 12th, 2025. I'd like to call this second part of the meeting to order at 7:51. Prior to the open session this evening, there was a resolution duly moved and seconded that pursuant to section 239 subsections 2 and 3 of the Municipal Act SO 2001 section 25 as amended, the West Parry Sound Recreation and Culture Center Board moves to a meeting closed to the public in order to discuss matters pertaining to item K, a position plan procedure criteria or instruction to be applied to any negotiations carried on or to be carried on by or on behalf of the municipality or local board, that being item 1, a bank financing proposal for construction, and item 2, the operating agreement. And now we would ask for any additions to the open agenda for this evening. Seeing none, may I have a mover and a seconder that the agenda for the February 12th, 2025 West Parry Sound Recreation Culture Center Board is hereby approved as circulated. Moved by Councillor Fellner. And seconded by Councillor Lundy. Thank you very much. All in favor? Opposed, if any, and that's carried. Thank you. And ask for a declaration of pecuniary interest. Are there any pecuniary interests to declare this evening? Seeing, we'll move to item 1.5, which is the approval of the minutes. May I have a mover and a seconder to approve the minutes of December 11th? Moved by Mayor McGarvey, seconded by Councillor Dugrove, that the minutes of December 11th, 2024 regular meeting of the West Parry Sound Recreation and Culture Center Board are hereby approved as circulated. All in favor? Opposed, if any? Thank you, and that is passed. I don't believe there are any delegations or correspondence to deal with this evening. And that moves us into item 3, which is business. And 3.1 is the chair's report. I would just like to observe or comment that I'm pleased to see some positive stories about our recreation and culture center in the local press. Not only local press, but in the northern press. There were in particular about the some of the challenges that to the north of us in Sudbury, and some of the initiatives that are going on in Elliott Lake, and reference to the West Parry Sound Recreation and Culture Center as being something that is community building and something that is very desirable. A number of us, including the chair of the fundraising committee, and I believe CAO Inwood and myself, were interviewed by the local media in town for a comprehensive story that's going to be coming out, I believe, in Parry Sound Living in the coming weeks. Is that correct, CAO Inwood? Thanks. So that's so it's good to hear that. I'm hearing lots of enthusiasm from people in every municipality, and so it's nice to see. We see the construction going on. We see the beams up, and so we look forward to having that inspire philanthropy in West Parry Sound, so that we can continue towards our $5 million fundraising goal. Thank you. Item 3.2 are the financial reports. There is a report submitted by the steering committee, and our treasurer, Ms. Phillips, is here to take us through the highlights. Please go ahead, Stephanie.
Thank you. So the balance sheet as of the end of January 2025 shows the cash balance is approximately $2.56 million at the end of the month, after receipt of a claim of $2.56 million for the provincial grant. New claim number 5 has been completed and submitted. A receivable of $3.5 million in grant funding is showing on the balance sheet for that claim, so those are up to date now. $10,486,000 has been recorded in work in progress towards the capital works to date. The statement of operations shows for January that 190,000 was received in matching donations from the Carmichael Family Foundation for Make a Splash matching donation. Some miscellaneous donations are showing, and $2,030 from the Stingers basketball fundraising that took place, as well as 45,000 in sponsorship naming rights are recorded. Funds on hand are earning interest of $10,829 year to date for the month. As of January, the fundraising surplus from the beginning of the project to date is $758,808. On to cash flow. The cash balance right now is 2.28 million, and 1.8 million is expected to be paid for the next progress payment. The letter of agreement regarding the board's line of credit is to temporarily fund the capital works is on the agenda tonight. So that's being finalized, and guarantee documents are in final review. And once those are finalized, the letter of agreement and guarantees will be circulated for approval to the partner municipalities. And once finalized, the availability of the line of credit comes online, the municipality's cash flow contributions will be returned. So those are 2.59 or 2.59 million approximately to date. Any questions related to the monthly financials?
Thank you. Questions for Ms. Phillips? May I have a mover and a seconder that the December 31st, 2024 and January 31st, 2025 financial reports be received for information? Moved by Mayor McGarvey, seconded by Councillor Fellner. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That's carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item 3.3 is a project and budget update. And there's a report submitted by the steering committee, and CAO Inwood is going to take us through that. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I will quickly hand off to Mr. Homewood from Ball Construction here. But before I do, I just want to commend the team at Ball for the great work that they've been doing over the last number of months, and you can see that progress physically on site today. If you had a chance to drive by, you'll see the CLT wood roof decking coming up over the pool. It looks fantastic, and despite some rather challenging weather conditions, the team has been just plugging away diligently day in, day out, and are making significant progress. So with that, I would invite Mr. Homewood from Ball Construction to join us, and he'll walk you through the PowerPoint presentation that they've prepared.
Thank you. Please go ahead, Mr. Homewood.
Good evening, everyone. I'll just share my screen with you. Just bear with me for a moment. Okay, everyone see the slideshow now?
Yes, we can.
Great. So we're just going to have a quick update, very similar to the previous council meetings. So we'll just have a quick discussion regarding the short-term construction schedule, just the 3 to 4 month look ahead, the overall project schedule, and the budget update. So right now, foundations are about 98% complete. They were just, the guys were just pouring the last little portion of concrete foundations over the last couple of days. The CLT wood deck started being installed this past Monday. That should be completed this week. The remaining structural steel and the metal roof deck that would go over the rest of the facility will be fully installed by mid-March. And then the steel studs, so the exterior wall framing, will start in March as well. And then we're looking at probably the roofing to start late April of 2025. For the overall project schedule, so like we were saying, the stud walls will be starting soon. So that's the building envelope. And
Mr. Homewood, could I ask you to circulate through your slides, please?
Circulate through them?
Sorry, we're stuck on slide number 1 still.
Oh, interesting. Bear with me for a moment.
Thank you.
Can you see that one now?
No, we're still stuck on number one.
Oh, interesting. Okay, just bear with me. I'm just gonna reshare. We'll try this again. Got it in a different format, so I can just share that one. Okay, can we see that one now?
We can.
Okay, great. Let's see if this works.
Thank
you-
you. It is advancing now. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. So I'll just quickly I'll just go back to the short-term schedule. So yeah, so it is like I said, foundations are pretty much done now. CLT wood deck over the roof, over the pool, that will be done this week. The exterior walls, so the stud walls will be starting sometime around the end of March, and the remaining structural steel, including the metal roof deck, will be fully installed mid-March 2025, and then roofing starting shortly after that. So the overall project schedule, yep, the building envelope. Like I said, the steel stud framing will be starting shortly. And then also that'll keep going with the roof, all the exterior cladding and the exterior glazing. The swimming pool install is still slated to start sometime in the summer. And then we're probably looking at the base coat, so the first coat of the asphalt parking lot to be installed sometime before the winter 2025. The overall targeted completion date is the same as before, so we're still looking at mid-March 2026, so we're still right on schedule. In terms of the overall project budget, there are no changes in the construction budget since the December 11th project update. We're still at the 94.75% of total hard cost tendered. Those should be finalized within the next, I would say, 6 weeks. We should have everything completely tendered. And their overall project budget is still sitting at approximately 39.5 million. Just a couple photos of the project to date. So you can see this is the structural steel. This is kind of the U-shaped, or sorry, the V-shaped columns. Those will be the exterior columns, and that's actually a side view of where the main entrance will be. And then the white steel is all the structural steel over the swimming pool. It has a special coating that's designed to take those harsh environments. That's why it has a slightly, it's a different color, base color. We can see here on this slide, the CLT wood deck. So that's the cross-laminated timber decking that's being installed right now, kind of this week, over top of the swimming pool. And there you can see kind of the last little bit of the foundation walls were being formed up. This is a photo from last Thursday. So that's all completed now. Okay, and that kind of gets us to the conclusion of the presentation. If anyone has any questions, please feel free.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. That's impressive. Questions, comments? Mayor Robinson.
At one point in time, due to the sewage capacity of the Parry Sound system, we were talking about a container, a tank of some sort had to be constructed to sort of slow down the flow. Is that's still incorporated in the plans?
Yes, it is. Yeah. In fact, there's been some paperwork happening these last couple of days regarding that. So yes, that is still proceeding.
Councillor Dubrow.
Thank you, Chair Sanderson. Just one quick question with where you're at in progress. Have the items been purchased for the pool, or do you anticipate there's going to be any impact from the trade tariffs that we have to factor into this? Yep.
So all those items have been purchased. The steel pool does come out of the United States. It has been pre-purchased, and there is a contractual obligation in there. So right now we're not foreseeing any any impact when it comes to tariffs, but as we all know, it's kind of a moving target with the leadership to the south of us. So we're optimistic at this point that we will not be affected by it.
Thank you.
Other questions? Seeing none, may I have a mover and a seconder that the board receive the February 12th, 2025 project and budget update for information purposes? Moved by Councillor Fellner, seconded by Councillor Dubrow. All in favor? Opposed, if any? And that is carried. Thank you very much. And we have Marianne McDermott joining us this evening to provide a verbal update on fundraising and sponsorship. Please go ahead, Marianne.
Thank you very much. And I do want to reassure everybody that our goal is still 5 million in capital. I do agree with one of the comments that was earlier that the timing of the cash flow of that 5 million may be slower than we'd anticipated, but 5 million capital is still very much a live target. And in addition to what you heard from Stephanie, what she is reporting is cash flow that has come in on fundraising. In addition, we have an additional almost $300,000 that's contracted to be paid over the next 5 years. So from the fundraising's point of view, we believe we're at 1.25 million in concrete fundraising having been achieved. Right now, our focus is on high net worth individuals that can contribute at least six-figure fundraising. I want to report that we've had unbelievable support from the Council of the Archipelago, who's going to work with us to move with and meet with some of those high net worth individuals and lake associations. As soon as people in the archipelago get their boats in the water, it was passed at a council meeting in the archipelago. In addition, we have agreed with the Chamber of Commerce of West Parry Sound to do a joint fundraising letter to 100% of their members, and that will be going out in the next few weeks. We have the Paddling Festival coming up again, March 22nd, and the Domino's Pizza promotion continues until the end of February. So please eat pizza in your house and in your offices. If you have staff lunches, please buy from Domino's while you can, because we get $5 or $3 depending on the size of their pizza. I'm delighted to have heard Councillor Fellner ask about the $42,000 that's been sitting in a bank account, I think for over 15 years. If there's negotiations to be carried out with the Ontario Gaming Commission, I'd be happy to take those on. When I did speak to them over a year ago, they said that could easily flow through to any not-for-profit organization. So I don't know what the holdup is. I do want to take my hat off to the Stingers basketball. Councillor Fellner and I and some other members of this community attended their tournament the middle of January. 14 teams from across Ontario came for the under 14 girls basketball. This town was hopping. It was unfortunate that it was January because there weren't enough restaurants open to feed them, but every restaurant, including Don Cherry's, had reservations right till 11 o'clock at night because there wasn't enough places for the teams to eat together. Every hotel room was full, and some of them stayed in Huntsville because we didn't have enough hotel rooms. So that's what economic benefit means. And I do want to point out that the YMCA has never met with one of our user groups, never. And that is an essential part of what this center is going to do. It's going to answer the needs of many of these user groups. Some of them swim, some of them basketball, some of them volleyball, and some of them badminton. Somebody was talking about how many teams could we get here for a badminton tournament. So we need to answer the needs of those groups. We are on track, but we need to get the big high net worth individuals involved now. I'm struggling a little bit with a lot of them are in Florida, but they're agreeing to meet. So anybody that can help make an introduction to someone that has community minded, that can write big checks, Richard Culverwell and I are ready and willing to meet with them. So I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Any questions, comments for the chair of the fundraising committee? Thank you very much, Mayor McDermott.
Thank you.
The next item has been referred from closed meeting and concerns a letter loan agreement in respect to a line of credit to facilitate construction of the center. That's bylaw 2025-001. And I believe, Ms. Phillips, will you be able to provide an overview in a moment just to the public? And while you're moving to the table, could I have a mover and a seconder that bylaw number 2025-001 being a bylaw to authorize a letter loan agreement in respect of a line of credit to facilitate the construction of the West Parry Sound Recreation and Culture Center be considered as read a first time? Moved by Mayor McGarvey, seconded by Councillor Fellner. All in favor of first reading? Opposed, if any? Thank you. And Ms. Phillips, could you just please provide an overview of the letter loan agreement for the benefit of our public?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So the bylaw authorizes the execution of a letter loan agreement with the Bank of Nova Scotia for a line of credit of 13.5 million at an interest rate of prime less 0.65%. The letter loan agreement includes proportionate guarantees required from the partner municipalities, except McKellar. And and the guarantees will come forward to participating municipalities once those are finalized following council's consideration of the letter loan agreement.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Any board members have comments or questions with respect to what has been shared? Then may I have all members are in favor of having a second and third reading? May I move by Mayor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Dubrow. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That is carried. Thank you. And that the bylaw above mentioned be considered as read a second and third time. Passed, signed, and sealed. All in favor? Opposed, if any? And that is carried. I declare that carried. Thank you very much. And I believe that takes us to the end of our meeting this evening. And may I have a mover and seconder for the adjournment? Moved by Mayor McGarvey, seconded by Councillor Lundy, that the meeting be adjourned at 8:14 p.m. All in favor? Opposed, if any? Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us this evening, and stay safe. Take care.